Good morning, class. So today we are going to start the another one chapter of the chemistry, that is structure of atom. Okay, so when we talk about the last three chapters, we have seen that first we studied about the matter, and we discussed that this matter is actually made up of very small particles, that is called atom. Okay, and before of that you studied about the Dalton's atomic theory, and Dalton is a very famous scientist, and he said that actually the each and every matter is made up of very small particle, that is called atom. Okay, and you know that he said that atom is the smallest particle and it is not divisible. But after that we find that atom is not in the smallest particle, it is subdivided into the subatomic particle, that is electron, protons and neutrons. Electron, protons and neutrons. Okay, so you know that this is the drawback of the Dalton's atomic theory. The Dalton atomic theory said that the atom is the smallest particle and it is indivisible, but actually the atom is divisible and it's subdivided into the electron, proton and neutron. So today we are going to study about electron, proton and neutron, and how actually these electron, protons and neutrons are situated inside the atom. And there are so many other theories which we have to study. So now in chapter 3 we have learned that the atoms and the molecules are the fundamental building blocks of the matter. The existence of different kind of matter is due to the different atoms constituent them. Now the question arises, what makes the atom of one element different from the atom of another element? Second, the atoms really indivisible as proposed by Dalton, or are there smaller constituent inside the atom? We shall find out the answer to these questions in this chapter. We will learn about the subatomic particles. We will learn about the subatomic particles and the various models that have been proposed to explain how these particles are arranged within the atom. A major challenge before the scientists at the end of the 19th century was to reveal the structure of the atom, as well to explain its important properties. The elucidations of the structure of atom is based on the series of experiments, and one of the first indication that atoms are not divisible come from the studying static electricity and condition under which electricity is conducted by different substances. Okay, so now we are studying about how electron, proton and neutron actually discovered and who discovered them. Okay, so earlier it was assumed that the air or the gases are the poor conductor of electricity, but when the Faraday has done his experiment, so after Faraday's experiment, Faraday said that actually the gases are also passing current, but in some conditions, like when they have a very low pressure, when we reduce the pressure to extent, and when we increase a very high voltage. Okay, two conditions are there: when we give them a very high voltage, and when we do the pressure, when we reduce the pressure too low. Okay, so in that case the gases are also behaving like a conducting material. So the one scientist, very famous scientist, that is J.J. Thomson, he know about the Faraday experiment, and what he has done with this, what he has done, first of all, he has taken a Crookes tube. Crookes tube is a discharge tube which is made up of a glass tube. It was something like that. Okay, now he has taken a glass tube, and inside that he has fitted two electrodes. One is anode and other is a cathode, and this it is attached with the battery, and one is a vacuum to reduce the pressure inside that. Okay, after that what he has done, he reduces the pressure to 1 atmosphere and increases the voltage up to 10,000. Okay, and when he start the battery, then he saw that, then he find that nothing is happening. But when he started reducing the pressure, then he saw that something is some light are coming, some rays are coming from this electrode. Now what he has done, he has just polished this with the zinc sulfide layer, and when he done his experiment, he saw that the zinc sulfide plate started sparkling. So because of that, he come into the conclusion that some rays are coming from this side, and these rays is actually going to the anode, because anode is a positively charged. So definitely the nature of these rays are negative. These rays are made up of negatively charged particles, so that's why they are moving towards the anode. So after that the J.J. Thomson discovered that these rays are made up of the negatively charged particles, which is called as the electrons. Okay. So after the discovery of electron discovered by J.J. Thomson, then E. Goldstein is the another one scientist who started doing the same experiment, but that time he has taken that gases which have a positive charge. Okay. And when he has done this experiment, then he find that some rays are also coming from the anode side, and he saw that these rays are made up of positively charged particle, and they are called them as a proton. So electrons are basically a negatively charged particle, and protons are called as the positive charged particle. So electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson, proton was discovered by E. Goldstein, and neutron was discovered by Chadwick. Okay, so you should know the name of the scientist. Now here just read your book. For understanding the nature of the charged particle in matter, let us carry out the following activities. So this activity is very common. You can rub anything, and you see that after some time it becomes charged. From these activities, can we conclude that rubbing two objects together, they becomes electrically charged? Where does this charge come from? These questions can be answered by knowing that the atom is divisible and consisting of charged particles. Many scientists contribute in revealing the presence of charged particles in an atom. It was known by 1900 that the atom was indivisible particle but contained at least one subatomic particle. Subatomic particle. The electron identified by J.J. Thomson. Even before the electron was identified, E. Goldstein in 1886 discovered the presence of new radiation in a gas discharge and called them as a canal rays. These rays were made up of positively charged radiation, which ultimately lead to the discovery of another subatomic particle. This subatomic particle had a charge equal in magnitude but opposite in the sign to that of the electron. Its mass was approximately 2000 times as that of the electron. It was given the name proton. In general, the electron is represented by E negative sign, and the proton is symbolized by P positive sign. So the mass of the proton is taken as 1 unit and its charge is +1. The mass of the electron is considered to be as negligible, and it is charge is -1. Okay. So you should know that two subatomic particles you studied, electron and proton. Electron you will write like that, and proton you will write like that. Electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson. Proton was discovered by E. Goldstein. How they discovered? They have done the activity in the discharge tube, as I told you earlier. Okay, so this is the discovery of electron and proton, and tomorrow we will start study about the model that structure of atom. Okay, the Thomson model we will study tomorrow.